You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Vince.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
Well, it has been Vince was saying it's been a year. It's the whole technically year. Well, we showed up last. What was it this week? I guess it was. We had an episode that came out that looked like it came out. I actually published it on New Year's just to be for fun. But truth was, we met a month before, and these months go fast too for me. By the way, it feels like it's pretty quick. Where I'm like, how are we going to get together again? Which we're. I think I need to work out with you guys so we can pre-plan when we're going to meet and things, because I also want to have some guests. I have a few guests that actually have agreed to come on the show, but I want to make sure that we're all on with them and stuff. So we'll probably plan these a little bit more. It's always hard because we've all been doing a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of things going on. And so, at any rate, so that's kind of part of that. And I know that we had talked in the last episode too about our New Year's resolutions and things, but at the same time, we've also talked a little bit about things that we could do on here, and different people have been writing recommendations, and we really want more of that, kind of what to do and how to structure this. I've gone back and forth over time because I listen to a lot of different podcasts, which I will bring up again. A lot of these podcasts are going away right and left. The ones that I liked, I mean, I used to love listening to the Tested podcast, for example, back in the day, especially back when it had Will Smith on it. Not Will Smith, like from not the actor Will Smith,
not the slapping kind,
the programmer slash that guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I used to love listening to that, and then they kind of changed their style over time, and they went structured where they'd have like different segments, which initially I thought I'd like, but then over time I was kind of like, I missed when they were just kind of riffing, because I liked when they joked more, but also that was partly Will, and when he left, I think some of that kind of changed things. I feel like I could talk about this now because they're not doing it. I don't think Norman Chan, who has helped this on
no
3
chance
occasions,
they'll ever go on our podcast anymore. So
I don't want to jinx our relationship. But, but I mean, at the same time, there's a lot of different ways we could kind of do things. And we're kind of, I feel like that should be driven by the audience. And so if you guys have recommendations for what you want us to do, or the kinds of things you want us to cover. Vince, you were bringing up something a few seconds ago, tell us a little bit about that. As far as like movies, we had a comment when we did the prop store poster review where we talked about a lot of old movies and things.
I need to get up to date on all the classics, and I have to admit, even being a movie buff, I am a contemporary movie buff, so it's going to be like from whenever I was born till a bit before that, and not so much the 30s, 40s, all the way to the 70s, maybe 80s, mid-80s. As I said before, like the first James Bond I ever watched was License to Kill. I wasn't even supposed to watch that because I was too young to see it, basically.
Right.
So all the old James Bonds I haven't watched, all the Criterion movies, all the old monster movies like Dracula, Frankenstein, the Bela Lugosi ones. I know of them via cultural osmosis, but I've never actually watched them and looked at them. And I'm willing to take up the challenge, but I would like to have our audience decide which movies I should watch first. And then in the next episode that after I've watched them, of course, I'll be giving you a short review of what my findings were, if that's okay.
Well, the other thing we could always do sometime down there, I know we've talked about different things we could do that we still haven't done yet, but at the same time, is not so much for the podcast, but just live streaming. We could do a viewing party from one of the streaming services to watch something that we can comment throughout on that would be funny, and our reaction kind of things. I could think of several that would be great. Sometimes the best ones for those are ones that nobody's really seen, or you haven't seen it for a long, long time. because then it's more funny, or it's more entertaining or interesting. But that also is something we could possibly do, and that we take recommendations for. But
we want to innovate a bit in 2024.
Yeah, I'll certainly sign up to watching the classical films with you, Vince, because I also am pretty far behind on watching all the classics.
Yeah.
I'm just old. That's why.
Yeah,
I always feel like I'm like kind of the same age and stuff, or I just feel like I'm around the same as you guys and stuff. But I think I'm old enough to be your dad.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, because I also
somebody else brought that up, but
I guesstimated that James would also be around my age, but we're like a generation apart, even.
Oh, yeah.
27.
Yeah, I'm 37, so we're like 10 years apart, or a decade apart.
Yeah.
Jeremy just remains silent.
Yeah. I'm old enough.
Add the two of us together or something.
At least with you. I guess I was around, let's just say I was around like in my early teens, probably when Vince was born. So I wouldn't be old enough to be your dad, so that's good. But I remember when you were talking once, we were talking about an individual about Paul, because Paul and I are about the same age. And so
yeah,
when you were talking about him, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm about his age, so
yeah,
made me feel really old really fast.
We were probably talking about because I watched Kim's Convenience just around the time my dad passed away, and that's when I probably mentioned that he's about the same age, and he kind of got me through a rough patch watching that, because he had the same dad humor as my father had, and he kind of looked like the Asian version of my dad, basically, with the shape and everything. Yeah. Thankfully, he's a lot younger than my dad was.
Yeah, I think he played the role older than he actually is too. Yeah. So I thought he was older.
But also
too.
look at Christopher Lloyd with Back to the Future, right? He wasn't that old when he played Doc. And
man, that really I literally was this last week. There's three things that bother me. So yeah, you got Christopher Lloyd. So how old was he? Do you remember how old he was?
Maybe like 30 something, or even younger.
Like 36.
Yeah, you got it right there. And then Pat Morita. How old was Pat Morita when he played
Mr.
Miyagi?
Oh, I do hope it's above 30 though.
Give me a guess.
I maybe like 42.
Yeah, I was gonna say 40.
Yeah,
42. He was 51 when he was playing a 65-year-old master. Of course, he was also playing he was also playing these Japanese, right? And he was Korean, right? So
He was being very heavy on the accent also.
But I mean, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm almost as old as I am as old as the people that I thought were so old.
Yeah.
In these shows. Yeah. That's sad.
Also, speaking about that, the James Bond, I forgot the one where they dressed him up as an Asian guy. That one that we discussed on the podcast. Now, I just today on the news I read that I think the BBC or the British Film Commission is gonna add some disclaimer to when they're showing old, when they're showing old films that these are made with the sensitivities of the day. We do not condone all that kind of stuff. But they actually mentioned that movie as one of the prime suspects. And also Octopussy, where he was seducing the lady against her will.
Are people really going to go through and put that at the beginning of every single film? That
they are going to do that, apparently, yeah.
Well, I mean, like Star Wars even. When you look at it, Star Wars, they had to go back and change accents and change some other things, because the original Star Wars, I mean, it's pretty apparent that they're same thing with Star Trek, that they're talking about certain cultures that they made it to, I mean, even in the prequels, the very first prequel movie, all of a certain species were all Japanese. What I mean? And then they changed it later on, because they're like, we gotta fix that.
Did they do that? Yeah. Oh, I only know them. Oh, I
Yeah.
only know the original dub. And they go, oh, we must
Yeah,
watch
it's
it
like-
for the show.
Wow, yeah. I mean, naturally, there's it's obvious when they're talking about like England and the UK's hierarchy and stuff like that. So some of those movies, but yeah, there's other ones where it's like, oh, this is very obviously the one thing that I thought was interesting about the disclaimer deal is Fight Club. You guys have seen Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Fight Club in Japan they changed the ending and they put a disclaimer at the front because Japan didn't like the idea of what happens in the end or what he tried to do.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, before that set of last scenes that you can remember, I don't know exactly at what point, all of a sudden, just words appear on the screen that say, "Yeah," and everything kind of worked out and stuff. And
They said like the Simpsons meme of saying like the dog went to his own planet and
it's right there. It floats away. I remember that. That was awesome. Yeah, that was a great one. That was a good episode.
Like, I was watching a series on Apple Plus. I think it was Foundation or something, and all of a sudden it's like this episode contains signs of suicide or whatever. And I'm like, one of the main cats gonna die. Like the arc was going like, okay, something's gonna happen. This person is not feeling well, and then it says this episode shows signs of suicide. And I'm like, I kind of didn't want to know that because it was going to be a spoiler. But
what's funny about that is I'm not going to have to go back and take out the word that you just said.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's one of the blacklist words on... plus, we have to put a link, a URL in that says, if you have a person and stuff like that.
Yeah, they call
like
it undeathing or unlifing or now whatever.
There's a lot of... I don't know. I mean, I think it's something that should be. There should be conversations about this. So I don't know why it has to be like that. But,
I mean,
I don't understand why it should be blacklisted.
Oh yeah, the poop thing I did recently. Even that I had to be careful with, and I couldn't monetize it because, and I also had to hide it. I don't know if anyone was wondering where that video went. It's not as accessible now. But I mean, you can't even say ooh. So I'm going to have to edit just what I just now said. Adding work to myself.
Big black logs. Big black logs.
Yeah. Yeah. Product. We'll call it product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a Ghostbusters part, by the way. I just printed on my pretty printer.
I know what part that is. It goes on the side of the proton pack, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Looks just like poop.
And it has two little. They're like two little nozzles. Are there tubes that go up inside that? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I knew what that was. That's pretty good.
Oh, binoculars.
Is that for your current
proton
pack?
A friend of mine, part of the Dutch Ghostbusters cosplay group, he had a how do you say, like a shell, like the fiberglass shell.
Yeah.
But not all the stuff that was associated with it, like not all the like these kind of things. That was all missing. So I said, well, I've got a 3D printer and I've got time to waste, so I might as well 3D print these parts for you because they're not going to cost me any money. Basically, they're like $2 a piece, plastic wise.
Right.
And, I wanna fine tune my printer anyway, so I might as well use those as
oh
test
yeah,
prints.
you get the new printer and stuff. Do you want to talk about that on a different day, or do you want to talk about that now?
We're going all over the place from movies to races.
This is the episode where we can talk about whatever. This is just the follow-up.
This is the wild card
By the
episode.
way, everyone should notice that James is not a cat today.
Yeah.
He's actually himself.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Well, the printer is a Bamboo Lab X1C, and it's the best thing I've ever bought recently. It is so nice. It does have some makeup sometimes, but they're all preventable. It basically is an appliance now, and not a way of suffering.
Yeah,
Compared to
it just
the
has
other
one or
3D
two.
printers.
Like you can have one or two nozzles, or what does it have on it?
So it has a filament hub on top of it that has can have four types of filament.
Okay.
And it's all automated, so it has like a cutter that cuts the filaments for you. It has a sensor that knows when your old filament is gone and your new filament goes in. It keeps track of the weight. It keeps track of a lot of stuff. It keeps track of for you, like also maintenance stuff, like there's a LiDAR on it that scans the bed, that it looks basically it 3D scans kind of your build plate so that it accommodates for overflow issues, or if your lines aren't that straight, all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty good.
That's spaghetti detection and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
But also like maintenance stuff. Like I had a dirty sensor that puts stuff out of alignment, and then you just get a QR code, you scan it in with your phone, you get a little video that says how to do it, and then you just fix it by yourself, and it's great. I mean, all the troubleshooting and all the handling I've done so far have been helped out, and I've been printing more than my share of stuff nowadays. Like also the quality is insane. Like this is a PKE meter that I printed out in plastic.
Yeah, let's
just
hold
for
it back a
people at
little bit
home.
more. Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
So
it
this is
looks
just
like very, very high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is really good stuff, and it's prints so fast. I just finished printing some stuff on the printer. It sends updates. Everything is out of the box, operational, and I mean, if I had more money, I would buy a second one immediately. But I still have to keep everybody happy at home. But it's a great thing, and I'm gonna get rid of all my other 3D printers soon, or one way or another, either sell it or gift it, because this thing is the bomb, and it's really a revolution in 3D printing. I started out in 2017, I believe, or earlier, with like a Chinese i3 printer, and then I built one my own, like a Prusa. Then I got a resin printer. Then I got an Anycubic Viper, and this is my fifth one.
You have a resin printer? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I've been through the ropes, but I mean, it's such a relief that anything you want to print now, and there are some quirks, of course, because I printed in PETG now, and the overhangs don't really work as well, so you have to fit it with supports. But once you know the print orientation and know the supports and everything get tweaked, it's perfect. It's durable. It's fast. It's strong. It's great stuff. So I've been building a lot of Ghostbusters props. I 3D printed my webcam mount because my webcam mount broke off.
Oh yeah.
I have the old one right here. So this screw kind of died or fell out. It went through because I tightened it too much. But this thing is like a proprietary Logitech StreamCam thing, and I just couldn't get it to work. And then on Thingiverse, there was this module that basically says pull the screw out and push it back in, and now I just have a good working mount.
Well, that's good.
It's great. I'm loving it. Well, sorry.
Well, that's not too shabby. That sounds pretty great. I didn't know that you had a resin printer. That's interesting to know. Yeah, I got to see some more resin-based stuff. Is it?
It's
you don't need a big one though,
for
resin stuff. Like
most
of those are smaller parts anyways that you're printing. So
yeah, but it's quite toxic and quite a hassle to get everything done.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about them. Yeah,
just for people who aren't in the know, I've got a baby coming up, a second one. So my wife's pregnant, so I'm not gonna mess with any toxic materials anytime soon in the household. Which is a good way to stay away from resin.
That's kind of what happens when you have a baby. There's no avoiding that.
No, but if I don't want to mix that with any resin, if that's possible.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
So
and the gases and everything else is just probably not the best.
But that also came in a long way. So I hope that one day there's going to be a good mix between resin printing and FDM. But for now, the Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon is like the cream of the crop. Definitely worth the investment. Also, there was this big sale going on, like Black Friday sale apparently, and I bought it just before. So I sent them an email and said, "Hey guys, I just bought this thing, expecting not to be a Black Friday sale. So could we do something?" And they graciously gave me store credit, so I could actually get like $500 worth of store credit and
like
buy
PLA
some stuff
and stuff or something. Or
yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
I bought some extra parts just to make sure. But it was customer service really really well done, and really happy with it, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, James, we haven't seen you since before the prop store.
Last year.
Yeah, since last year.
Yes, since last year.
Yeah,
But you've been traveling a lot. You've been going a lot of places. I've been watching your adventures.
I've been all over. I've been making the most of my holidays at work. I went to Austria for the Christmas fairs that they typically do during December.
That's
I
cool.
was in Graz, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I went skiing for the first time ever.
Okay.
I didn't break
First
any
time
limbs.
ever.
Oh, nice.
First time ever, yeah.
Straight to Black Diamond.
It was an experience. I spent like the first hour on like not even the base ramp or the base slope, like
Bunny
literally
hill?
the kiddie thing, which is just the like it's a conveyor belt
With a tow rope.
something
And,
that's steep. And then just sort of getting like learning how to go like up and down and just walk around in the snow. From there, I went to something a bit more advanced, although this is still like for 4 or 5 year olds.
Yeah.
And I managed to do that. I finally figured out how to brake when going down.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
then we
Small
went
children
on-
as you're going down the hill. So
Yeah.
It both of them slalom. Yeah.
Oh, no. And then we went on to the first official slope, and I wasn't warned that there's sort of a big-ish drop. Like for me, it was a big-ish drop. And so I was picking up speed, and then suddenly there was no snow below me. And so I have a video of me sort of going along, and
like
then
you're saying
suddenly
like
just
rock or something, or are you saying like you're in the air?
no, it wasn't that dramatic. Like it was sort of straight-ish, and then it
Picture
was
you
just
like a cartoon where just suddenly you're out above the
no.
realizing
It was
before the
silent
gravity
as
kicks
hell.
in.
Yeah, nothing that bad.
Okay.
I would have been thoroughly upset in that case. But I did sadly break one of the skiing poles that I was
Renting? Oh,
lent.
yeah.
Well, not renting. It was lent. Like it was
Oh, was it?
a friend's family's.
They're not too expensive though. That couldn't have been too
No.
bad of a
No,
situation.
it wouldn't have been too bad. And they said it was old anyway, so like, it was pretty much on its way out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great experience. Although after I think we were there for 6 hours. After 6 hours, we were both thoroughly like worn out, and then we still had like an hour and something drive back home, and it was absolutely freezing out there. Like even with all the like the extra clothes on, it does like warm you up, and it wasn't too bad. But the second the snow gets inside of your gloves or whatever, it's done. Like you're cold.
Skiing is one of the few activities where you can be frozen and get a sunburn at the same time.
Yep. Well, I was lucky I
fun.
didn't get any of that.
Yeah. Now, here's the other big thing I'm excited about, because James made a purchase. I actually showed a clip from their website. I couldn't do the audio, but at the same time, you're getting something that actually I wanted to get for years, and I've been trying to. I've actually made a few purchases that went south. Because a lot of these Chinese companies, you don't know if you're getting the actual thing or not sometimes. And I remember I saw a discount on one that used to be kind of the popular one that was similar to it. And I bought it. I was like, I can't believe I'm getting it for this price. And you know what they had on the site was not what arrived in the mail. And so I contacted PayPal, and luckily my production stuff allowed me to try and send it back. And because they had no communication after that, I sent it back, and then it wound up coming back to me. This is one area where I guess stuff coming back to me actually worked out. Came back to me, I contacted PayPal. I'm like, look, I tried everything I could. They said, yep, you just get to keep it. We refunded you already. And so I got the money back, and then I took it was a kid's helmet instead of an adult one. And it was just cheap plastic, and it just kind of like opened to the front. And then the eyes did kind of light up, but it was a flip open thing. Totally not what was advertised. But I ended up giving that to a kid that a friend of mine has a kid that had a in utero stroke, and a huge Iron Man fan, and so he was very slept in it and everything else. So I mean, it still kind of worked out, but I still wanted that helmet really bad. And when you first sent the information, I was like, oh, I should buy that too. And I said, I'm just going to live vicariously through you. So when is this thing coming?
So to add a bit more context, what Jeremy's talking about is I recently bought. I bought like as a sort of Christmas present ish. the Iron Man, or an Iron Man helmet, a Mark 50 Iron Man helmet. So I don't know if the audience has seen like videos.
I showed the clip at the beginning of a last episode and said that you bought it, and it showed the opening, but it didn't have the sound. So this is voice activated. So you say there's a few commands. One of them is open suit. There's another one that's open helmet.
Open
there's
the
another
mask
one too.
and,
Open mask. So one can just open up this piece, or it goes just like this. And then there's another one where the back literally also backs up and opens when for open suit, so you can take the thing off. I watched a popular streamer that got his already, and he was like, I thought I was supposed to do this.
But that was the Mark 5, I think. Because
was
Mark
it?
50, the Mark 50 is still...
He got all excited, though, when it opened. He was like, I thought I was supposed to do this, and he said it again, it opened up, and he's like...
I know who's talking about. I've seen that video. So that's the Mark 5, and that one opens up like in different pieces. Yeah. So I think it opens up in like 7 pieces, like in the front if you ask it to open one way, and if not, it just opens as one piece. Yeah. With the Mark 50, they started accepting orders for it in September. The latest update as of like 2 days ago, I think it was, is that they've received all the pieces for it and that they're assembling them. So in the next 2 weeks, the people that started ordering it in September of last year should start, should start being shipped out. And so I got mine in November. So I'm planning that in the next 2-3 months, hopefully, I should be getting mine.
Nice.
Wow, pretty exciting.
And you actually touched the real deal, right? Or was it the 45, right?
The other one was a 45, I think so. Yeah. And
it looks kind of like the Mark 42. The ones that you guys
I still didn't do some editing. I don't think we did the Iron Man one yet.
No, not yet.
No. Sorry about that. The whip and the hoverboard.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
I did send those videos through to Tested.
Oh yeah.
She didn't. Yeah, she said thanks and stuff and
thanks, bye.
But she hasn't. She didn't repost it yet. I wonder if maybe I need to do another link or something for it,
maybe they were just jealous because of the production quality.
Well, that's why I said. Well, I said it to them because you said that they couldn't go. Adam at least couldn't go because he was part of the guild.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
we're not unionized at all. So
that's right. Yeah,
we're not unionized. We're mobilized.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that though. When you get that, I'm excited to see it.
I get it. It's going like
see it open and light up and
So we're reliving our prop store experiences.
Yeah, making it real.
Yeah,
so you got the helmets, you got the other. Yeah. I guess there's one prop I haven't talked about. Hang on a sec here. I got another thing.
Yeah, I do have to be real careful about me having a gun in my hand.
But it's just
I've got something that's been part of a trilogy for me, which is literally it's part of a trilogy. Because back in the day, I think even on here we talked about the fact that because I was building the R2, I noticed that people like what's his name? World of Wayne is a guy that also builds those props and stuff. Is that some people got a hold of the C-3PO, the fat, what is it called? Jack's Fat Toys or whatever they're called. But they had multiple C-3POs that they made of different scales. And I tried buying them online. And I got like all these ones. None of them were the right scale because most of them went to the UK. Yeah. And then I recently I finally got him. So this is the guy here. He's the right scale to go with that R2 that I have.
Nice.
And so I'm going to do his eyes and repaint him and do the real C-3PO paint job on him and stuff and then make him where he lights up and will stand. He stands. He can actually stand with his hand on R2 and stuff. So
nice.
Right. Finally got it. But yeah, that was a long journey to try and get that stupid thing. And I've got all the wrong size ones over here. Yep.
Oh, so, you should do like a video where you just destroy them and then have the clips going, oh no, oh no, oh no. You have Anthony Daniels keep going, oh no, oh. Or I would fall over like multiple times, like just stupid stuff, like falling off a windowsill or falling off a car.
Yeah,
like, and I'm just put some clips from the prequels in there. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, we got a lot of things that are going to be going on, and that we're going to be getting, and things we're building and stuff, and it's kind of going to go from there. But we do want your input. Tell us like what you're wanting, what you want to see. Of course, I mean, all these seem like they're spread out, but this whole month is us sitting in one sitting, doing all these. So, but at the same time, if you give recommendations, I did notice too that sometimes people are like, "Hey, how come you haven't done this yet? Like I sent you that message. How come you didn't respond and said the next episode?" It's like, well, we did those episodes in advance, so it probably takes a month. If you do write us something, be prepared. It does take us about a month before we roll around again.
We do try to comment back though.
Yeah.
So whenever you comment on,
check the comments because we do respond. It's typically to people, and so I don't delete anything. I've had people think that we have, but no.
we have pretty strict content policy on the comments though, because some comments weren't visible for me when I looked at the app.
If somebody puts a link in the comment. Or I mean, naturally, if you swear or something, it goes into a little thing that I don't even see for a few days. But also links. YouTube thinks that you're trying to spam us, and so then they also put that as kind of holds that aside. So be aware if you do that we won't see it probably initially. But at the same time, keep sending us comments, keep telling us things that you'd be interested in, or you can also email us at yourgeekfix@gmail.com. I answer those pretty quickly as well. Or if you have something you want to send us to look at or anything like that, let us know that way. So,
If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that. But also check out our channel. Join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, Your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vince on Twitter at MassiveDMG_ and on his YouTube channel, MassiveDMG. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been Your Geek Fix.